Hey folks, I'm Owl, this is Erin Owl Reads, and this is my 2019 Fall ContemporaryAthon TBR. So this is actually the first ContemporaryAthon that I've ever participated in, and I'm very excited. My goal is to read 7 books over the course of the week, so 1 book for each of the challenges. However, there are more than 7 books in this TBR video, and that's because I am a huge mood reader, and so I am going to need options. So here are the books that I might read that week. Just in case you don't know, the ContemporaryAthon is held from September 23rd to the 29th, so that's a Monday through a Sunday. There's a live show on Saturday the 28th, and I will link all of the hosts, I believe there are 4 this year, down below. So the first challenge is to read a book released in 2019, and for that I'm going to read Serious Moonlight, there we go, by Jen Bennett. I haven't read a Jen Bennett book, but she is rather well loved in the contemporary community, and you know, I figured I'd give her a shot. In this one, there's a main character who's working a night job at a hotel, and then she has a love interest who works the night shift, I think for the bus or the shuttle, like that goes to and from the hotel, and they end up becoming friends and investigating this mystery regarding an author whose identity is hidden. I'm a little bit worried because it seems like it's going to be a lot of like readers crossing author boundaries, so I'm hoping that that gets addressed in the book. The next challenge is a book with a yellow cover, and for that I am reading Meg by Steve Alton. So this particular cover, there's yellow on the surfboard, and then the writing down here is in yellow. But there is also a movie tie-in edition, and I have the audiobook from my library, and let's be real, the audiobook is actually what I'm going to end up reading, because that's who I am as a person. So the movie tie-in cover looks like this. That's a lot of yellow, and I'm counting it. I think it's probably getting a little bit into science fiction because it's about a megalodon. I've seen the movie. I loved the movie. I have this really weird like comfort read and comfort watch, and that's creature features in which people get eaten. I blame Jurassic Park. So that means that I really want to read this, even though it's probably going to be horrible, and as a marine biologist I'm going to have plenty to say about it, but like I'm gonna love every moment of it. Also for this challenge, and these both also count as 2019 releases, I've got The Bride Test by Helen Hoang and The Right Swipe by Alicia Ray. The Right Swipe is about a woman who, in this particular world, she developed the Tinder app, or whatever it's called in that world. That being said, she's like super cynical and doesn't actually believe in love for herself. And so she gets paired with this guy, and they have one night of magical amazingness, and he ghosts her. But then he shows up several months later, working for her competition. So that's gonna be fun. I've heard that this is just a super sweet read, and I'm sorry, the reflection is real. But I'm looking forward to it. Also have this one on audio. And The Bride Test by Helen Hoang is a follow-up to The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang, which came out last year. It was one of my favorite books last year. This one is following a different, like a character who was sort of casually in the first book. So I haven't picked this up yet because I loved The Kiss Quotient so much. I'm worried that this won't stand up to how much I loved that. But I hear the autistic rep is really good, and I should give it a shot. And I might during the ContemporaryAthon. I also have this on audiobook. The third challenge is to read a diverse book, and in this case it's diverse to your experiences. And so for that one I'm going to be reading Love from A to Z by S.K. Ali. S.K. Ali also wrote Saints and Misfits, which I didn't read because it prominently features sexual harassment and sexual assault, which is just something I'm not up for. I'm excited about this. It is about 2 main characters, both of whom are Muslim. The female main character is going to Qatar because she is the only Muslim girl in her school and called out a teacher for being a dickhead, essentially, and got in trouble for it. And the boy main character, he just got diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, and he's having some trouble dealing with that. Also, his mom just died, and his family's grieving, and so it seems like there's a lot going on here. And I'm not necessarily sure it's going to be lighter than Saints and Misfits, but there are less things that are going to be hard for me specifically. And I have heard great things. Lots of people have said lots of nice things about this, so I am excited to read it. And for this one, the bride test and the right swipe would also work, because I am a white person, and the main characters of those books aren't. Esme is Vietnamese, and Kai is Vietnamese American, and I have no idea for the right swipe. The next challenge is to read a book with an illustrated cover. Guess which technically works for this. The first son of the United States falls in love with the Prince of England, and shenanigans ensue. It made me feel a lot of feelings. And it made me feel them all deeply. It was hilarious, it was sad, it was just emotional in every way. I love this book. I've already read it, I think, 4 times this year, so this will make the 5th, and I don't even care. I'm gonna love it. So this is a collection, but in it is the novella A Good Marriage, and that is an audiobook in Hoopla, and it was turned into a movie, so that's what I'm gonna listen to. I want to try Stephen King's writing, and this seems like a nice, like, 4-hour way to do so. I think that Love from A to Z would count in this category, and I would argue that so would Meg, because people getting eaten is dark and hard-hitting, even if I'm reading it because I think it's fun. One that I might consider reading for this is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman, mostly because I really want to read this, and I'm not actually sure what other challenge it would go for. Because technically, I don't think it's an illustrated cover. I think that the cover is a photo collage. So, it wasn't released in 2019. It's not diverse. I don't think it's dark and hard-hitting. So I might be counting this as plants on the cover because there's grass, which is exciting. However, that being said, one that I absolutely want to read during this readathon and very much counts for this this prompt is Work For It by Talia Hibbert. So this actually counts for a bunch of the prompts. So Work For It is about, I believe, a man who is a goat farmer, or possibly he owns a floral shop. I am unclear about this. This glare is ridiculous. I pre-ordered this and I am strongly looking forward to reading it. the final challenge is what I was just talking about. It is the beloved book or a book recommended to you by somebody in the book community, and then shout that person out. This one also counts for yellow on the cover, sort of. I'm calling that yellow. And also counts for an illustrated cover. And could possibly count for dark or hard hitting. Like, I haven't read it yet, so I don't actually know. Here's the books that I physically have with me. So, maybe I'll get to all of these. So are you planning to participate in ContemporaryAthon this go around? Have you read any of the books that I talked about today? Do you have any thoughts or feelings about them? Let me know everything you want me to let me know in the comments down below. I'm not sure if I'm going to be daily vlogging. If I am going to do that, it'll be on this channel, so subscribe if you're interested in that. And if I don't, I will definitely be updating my reading on Twitter, so you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at YarnOwlReads. I'm also on Goodreads at YarnOwlReads. And other than that, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye! I also feel like there's a lot of... No, you're okay. I wanted to redo that anyway. So she's gonna bite you, and she's gonna be allowed. Like, nobody's gonna get mad at her for it. My God.